So we made it back from our walk, and Luna's fine, by the way, but her feet were getting a little bit iced up in between because of the hair and stuff between her paws. And do I think Willow got enough exercise and energy? Probably not. She has one speed, fast. Fast and sleeping. Come here. Say hi. There's everybody. Oh, oh, you're wet. Oh, we didn't do the whole walk. There was no way. I I have to be considerate of the fact that Luna and Ishka are 9 and they just don't have the energy level as Willow. So sometimes I'll just go out. Most of the time we'll meet Scott at the end of the driveway and he'll cut some wood and she gets to hang out there and she's goes in the middle woods and chases stuff and does all kinds of nice stuff, right? She's so sweet. She's so cuddly. Aren't ya? Aren't ya? But she's got tons of energy. Tons of energy. And she wants to be outside all the time and do her own thing. She's a great dog for this property. She gets the most out of this property, out of all the dogs. She just loves being out there, laying out there, watching the birds, watching the squirrels, and doing everything. So, like I said, this winter has been a long winter. But I will say this, it's been super sunny and our solar panel have been great. I've been able to use the coffee pot, run that all the time. It's a real watt sucker. Every morning, use that, vacuums going. We have lights on all night, fan going all night to circulate warm air. So as far as like our panel and adding the extra batteries has been excellent. I have no complaints about our solar. It's actually surprising how much uh, energy we get in through our solar panels. I'm always charging our batteries. We do have lanterns. We like to use lanterns at night. I mean, we can have our lights on, but when we're watching movies and stuff like that, we just like low lights or candles and stuff like that. It's a small cabin. So having a light on all the time at night, you know, we don't do it. But like when we're cooking or cleaning or doing stuff at night, then we have the light on. Um, but yeah, so this winter for us, I think our biggest learning experience is the snow removal. So we're going to get push shovels. They're like special shovels. They're for older people like us that you can remove snow with the least amount of effort and weight. And I believe they must be really awesome because if you saw the pictures of that giant snowman that was made down on Kerrigan from us, um, he used a push shovel. I saw him out there. We drive by, and we weren't sure what he was actually making because it was going like in like the spiral. We thought, oh, is he making a castle? Last year, he made like a snowman with like a slope for kids to go down in toboggans. And this year, the family, I say him, but it's with the whole family, has been doing it. Um, they made that giant snowman and he would use the push shovel. So I said to Scott, we need to go and that we'd like to buy stuff at the end of the year because it's always on clearance. Hopefully I can find some. Um, or these push shovels because if the snow blowers down, you can use that. My neighbor uses his to clean his whole driveway and his driveway's longer than ours. So but you have to keep up on it. And that's like the biggest thing with us that we just didn't keep up. It just seemed overwhelming at times. And now when you get to the point where you have a 7-foot snowdrift up against your house, you're just like, how do I dig that out now? How do I get rid of this? The layers are like powder than ice and powder than ice. I mean, a lot of it was from Scott cleaning the roof. There's nowhere to put it except for off the side of the cabin. So for sure next year we're really going to be diligent about clearing the snow away from the cabin and making proper snow like trails to the ground for the dogs, because it's they can't even get out in the yard. It's just so deep. I'm gonna share videos of Scott demonstrating, because he did walk out to the yard and it was up to his waist. So it's pretty much the most snow. And people that have been up here, lifers forever, has said this is the most. They had another snowstorm in the 90s or something that was like equal to the snow we've gotten. So knock on wood that this is not the norm. um, so it was challenging. It was definitely a challenge to do stuff. Cut wood, clean up, do the roof, just anything. Getting to our tent. Our tent has like a couple feet of snow. You can't even get on the other side of it. If it didn't have the wood framing, it would have collapsed for sure. Um, so there's stuff like that. Our outhouse door broke off. It was like the wood or whatever. First, it was the bottom hinge just snapped. So then we had this one hinge, and we were trying to like slightly put the door open, and then all of a sudden it just cracked, and then it was like now you have no door. So it's just stuff like that, trying to fix that. We've never, and one thing, we didn't have to use our generator at all. I think maybe 4 times all winter, because the sun has been so great. But with that, or even to get to our generator, you'd have to dig to get to our generator. It's basically buried on the side of the house. It's covered. It's completely covered. But to get to it, to start it and use it, it's just not happening. I mean, it could if you wanted to put the work into doing that, but it just is challenging. It's so challenging. And it's challenging for people that just live in a regular house up here too. The amount of snow we got, and they're using dump trucks to remove snow from the city just so people could see. You drive in the city, and if you're on side roads, it's just like you're inching forward looking, is there someone coming? And you just like hoping no one's super close, and you're trying to get out. And it's the same with our driveway. I just shared a video on that. It's just, our mailbox was knocked down like, I don't know, 3 times from the snowblower. It's just, Scott has fixed that quite a few times. Um, what else have we really found? It's just, you know, it is what it is. But it's almost over. I say that, but everybody says March is the worst month because you get this wet snow. So I'm not really looking forward to that. And like I said, we're getting a big storm again this Saturday and Sunday. We're supposed to get hit with another big storm. So, we'll have to deal with that. But the snowblower's working again. Scott worked on it the other day. So it's working, and he was able to do the driveway, but it's like you're just running out of places to send the snow. And it's just challenging. But the wood has worked out good, even though, you got to underbury it, you got to pull it out, you got to cut it, and that has been super challenging too. And it's not even actually the safest setup. You're getting up on a pile of wood. There's snow. You're slipping through. Scott has slipped through and fell a couple times. It's just not the best setup. And we're hoping to do, like, every year we learn, we do a little bit better. We do a little bit better. Like bringing a rain barrel in the house and having water storage in the house throughout the winter is a big benefit. Rather than, doing what we were doing before, melting snow, filling jerry cans. Now it's just there, you just throw snow, it melts, and then you have your water for dishes and showering and cleaning and whatever else you have to do. We still get our Culligan for drinking water, which, isn't super expensive. And we try to cut savings wherever we can. So I think one thing we did learn is that we can probably do a couple more electric appliances that might help us out. Like the coffee maker's a small one my mom gave me, but I was really surprised that we could use it. Doesn't even hardly drain the battery. The inverter kicks on when it's on or heating up, but it actually is really nice to have. You set it on, and the percolator. I like the percolator too. But if I can save on propane to and then use my free electricity, I'm going to use the free electricity. So we've been kind of floating the idea too of getting an electric fry plate or pan, whatever you call it, the long ones that you plug in. So we're thinking about getting one of those just to see how much electricity it uses. And I mean, it's a benefit. If we're not using propane to cook and we're using this electric fryer, especially in the summertime because you don't want to heat up the cabin, it would be beneficial for us to do that. So anyways, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm getting back into doing this one will be posted on YouTube because I need some projects to do. I can only crochet so many blankets. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a shawl. I can't use all these blankets, and I don't know what I'm doing with all these blankets. And I've got like 2 other shawls. I made one for my mom, who I don't know who I'm making these other shawls for, but I'm just making them. It's just to keep busy because you need something to keep yourself busy. And I don't like being online. I don't like. I left my phone at my mom's for uh, a week, and it was actually enjoyable. Not that nobody could get a hold of me, but that I wasn't focusing on the news or looking stuff up on Facebook or seeing what. It was actually pretty peaceful not to have it, and just what I spent a lot of times watching DVDs and crocheting and being outside with the dogs and doing little things like that. I try to time everything as my day goes, like wake up, start a fire, clean the kitchen, get coffee going, and if there's wood outside, I start bringing the wood in. Then I might watch a little bit of TV, do a little crocheting, and then usually around that time Scott gets up, and then by then my water's hot. I'll do the dishes, and then I might bring snow in for the water, and just little things I try to do. Feed my birds. I still am feeding those guys. My feeders are about a foot from the ground the way the snow built up because we're using that umbrella thing. But there's so much snow that it's only like a foot off the ground. And the chickadees are so funny because I'll be filling it and they're landing on it. I got a lot of different birds, and I've got like 4 squirrels because I've been putting a lot of peanuts out and little apple slices and little treats for them when I can. So it's been it's this winter has had a lot of ups and downs. But we've been filling our days trying to keep busy, and I think it was nice that Scott got this job to work 2 days a week. We are really like looking forward to having the snow plow along with this job, but it's diesel, and I don't really understand diesel up here. They don't want to start. You have to have them plugged in, and people will say, "Oh, you save, diesel's cheaper." It's not cheaper if you have to have this thing plugged in and in a heated garage in order to drive it. Now, my truck has never failed us. Has always started. We had one day it was minus 40. It started, but the computer parts of my truck would not turn on, the radio, the screen, nothing was working. And I was supposed to go meet my mom, and I texted her. I said, there's no way. I don't feel good about driving the truck. Even the brakes were hard to push. Everything was froze. Minus 40. That's really cold to be trying to do anything. And the driveway was kind of messy, and I just said, you know what, forget it. And that's the thing up here. You have to be willing to be flexible because you may have all these plans. There's been plenty of times I said to my mom, oh, I'm going to come out and I'm going to do laundry and then we're going to go do our shopping and get all this stuff done. And then I wake up and, you check the weather and it says 30% chance of snow. So you're thinking, that's not 30%. And then you wake up and it's blowing and snowing. And I open the door and there's like this much of snow at the foot of my door, and I realize it's been snowing all night. It's a mess. And you got to change your plans. You have to say no. I don't like driving when it's snowing like that or blowing. We have a lot of open spaces on our roadways, so it gets dangerous. So anyway, so that's our update. Scott's obviously he's at work. That's why I'm doing this update. I always try to get him to say, let's do a sit. I am going to make him do a sit down soon. Got to try and drop a YouTube video at least once or twice a week. I say that all the time, then I don't. But now I need projects to do. So, I will try and get him to do a sit down, but he's exhausted. Even when he doesn't work, he's got to get up, he's got to cut the wood, he's got to snow blow the driveway, he's got to clean the roof. I tried to help him one time, but because of my vertigo, I get so much anxiety being up high that it just makes it worse. And anxiety is a trigger for my vertigo to happen. So if I'm up there, and I was up there one day shoveling while I was at work, and I'm holding on and I'm trying. Even if I fell, I'm just falling into a snowdrift. It's a foot lower than the roof, the snowdrift. But I still was like, because my hearing, I don't really hear, and I kind of heard cracking on the roof, and I thought, and it was the week I didn't have my phone. It was at my mom's, and I was like, I can't fall through this roof. And then what am I doing? Crawling to the road and like waving somebody down. Can you drive me to the dump? So my husband could drive me to the hospital. So I didn't do it again. And he doesn't want me doing it because he knows it's just something physically I can't and mentally can't do. So he does it. And hopefully we'll be able to put a metal roof and we don't have to worry about it anymore. But shingle roofs, you have to shovel and make sure you don't have ice jams, or else you get water and leaking, which we've had once or twice this year, but it's just really hard to control. Like the other night it seemed very warm. It got warmer throughout the night, so then we had like some snow melt, and when Scott cleared the roof, he said, oh, there was so much water up there. It was just ridiculous. So anyways, I'm at like 17 minutes of gibbering and carrying on, but this is what life is like up here. And I hope you guys enjoy this little sit down so I could tell you what was going on here and our trials and tribulation of this winter. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we're doing our once a week dinner at my parents', so I'm looking forward to that. Not looking forward to the snowstorm on the weekend, but we'll have to see how that goes, and I will do a video of it, see how bad it is. Love you, family and friends. Take care.